There's only one thing to do.
Drop it. Yeah.
Pokemon, Pokemon, oh yeah, this is a random matchup battle I had the other day. I think a couple nights ago when I was trying to get to sleep and I was just, you know, screwing around in random matchup, and I had a couple really good ones. One of them was like freaking 21 turns, really long. This one is a bit shorter, but it's just as epic, if not more so. He has a very, very obvious Drizzle abusing random matchup team, so I know that he's probably going to lead with the Politoed. I was really afraid of him leading with Scizor, because he does have a Scizor on his team, and Scizor lead is really good in random matchup, because you can just band U-turn out of there and do whatever, and Choice Banded U-turn hurts so much, and Hexers can't touch Scizor at all. But I'm really glad he led with Politoed. I'm going to hit myself and die, because, you know, that's what happens. That's what you do. It would have been nice to get the 3-turn Outrage, but, you know, whatever. I am going to get up Stealth Rocks so that Politoed cannot come in, and unless that Scizor wants to start spinning around or something, that Politoed is gone. So I don't think I've ever been more excited to get up Stealth Rocks ever, because, you know, I as much as I do like using Drizzle, fighting it is a pain, so it is nice to see a Politoed gone. Because nice thing about it, if they don't survive the switch-in, their weather does not get up. So I have effectively won the weather war, and I'm going to predict the switch-in to Scizor, and this is so gratifying. This is good feels all over the place. And he is not going to expect me to be max speed choice Scarf-Abomasnow, so he is going to try to kill me with a U-turn and U-turn out, but I'm going to outspeed him and hit him with a second Hidden Power Fire, and that's going to do the job. And then Politoed's going to come in, and he's going to faint. And so now his last Pokemon is Life Orb, whatever the fuck that thing is. I forget, Floatzel. I think Floatzel, that's what it's called. I'm just going to Death Fodder off Gligar. The Hail is up with Life Orb damage and Hail damage. This thing is not going to last very long. And, yeah, things are looking good. I can just Grass Knot for win, and that's going to be a really, really sweet, succulent, satisfying random matchup match. I just can't wait for Pokemon Battle Revolution 2. I know it hasn't been announced yet, but, you know, on the Wii U, there's definitely going to be a Pokemon Stadium 3D fighter thing, because they always do that. Now, this is going to be a match I had with a good friend of mine, DrizzleD5. Yeah, he's really, really good. I think the past 3 times I fought him, he just shut me out completely and overpowered me and just outplayed me. He totally destrollished me in NU and then in UU a couple times, I think. So I'm actually pretty afraid of this guy. He is going to make an over-prediction on turn 1. Making aggressive predictions on the first turn isn't usually a good thing. I am sure that this is a Life Orb Rotom, because they're pretty much always Life Orb these days, and I actually knew a little bit about his team beforehand, so that is going to give me a pretty big advantage. I'm not going to be afraid of Specs or whatever, but, you know, even if he was Scarf, he would just switch out or just go for Hydro Pump, but eventually here he is going to go for Hydro Pump, and I'm going to take that pretty well, since I do have pretty heavy special defense investment. It's not maxed out, but I've got enough where I can just take hits. Because this is my my Heatran, where it's like defensive and offensive at the same time. I really like it. So I want to hold on to Heatran for later, so I'm going to go into Marasquee, and he knows this. He knows from team preview that nothing on my team is going to want to take a Will-O-Wisp. I have a lot of really heavy-hitting attackers that hit on the physical side, excluding Alakazam and Gastrodon. So Gastrodon is going to be the best switch-in, and I'm going to take that Will-O-Wisp nicely, and I was really afraid he would switch into Skarmory right now, but he is just going to Pain Split, allowing me to Toxic him, and thankfully Toxic is going to land. I cannot tell you how many times I've missed Toxic lately. I can't because I don't remember, but I've missed Toxic like 4 times lately, and it's been a real nuisance. So Rotom is on a timer, and he's not going to last very long because there's Sandstorm damage now that T-Tar is in, so that's pretty cool. So Tits the T-Tar is going to come in, swinging those Tits, and I'm going to get a stockpile up, predicting him to get up the Stealth Rocks. So yeah, I'm actually doing really well. Yeah, he goes for Stealth Rocks here, and I'm going to Toxic him. So I did predict that he, instead of attacking me, was going to get up Stealth Rocks, because, you know, what are you going to do early game? Stealth Rocks, obviously. So I got a stockpile up, I Toxic'd him as well, and now I can go for repeated recovers and stall out stuff like a Stall a Douchebag. But, you know, it's pretty much the best thing for me to do. It would be pretty damn foolish to go switching around into stuff when T-Tars can run so many sets. You can never really know what they're going to do. If they're going to substitute, if they're going to Dragon Dance, if they're going to Fire Blast or Ice Beam, they can just do so many different attacks. Or if they're going to Pursuit you or something, you know. T-Tar is one of those really good Pokemon like Jirachi that can just run pretty much about anything. So my best option is definitely to sit in for the long haul and get up a couple stockpiles, especially since he lowered my defense, or I think he's about to. Yeah, I think I get my second stockpile up because he did lower my defense with the crunch, which is less than wanted. I was like, really, but, you know, things are looking pretty well. Things are going pretty well for me because he's not critting me or anything like a crit would destroy him or her Marasquee. It would be bad. But he's going to switch out here because the Toxic damage is getting to a point where it is doing more than he would like. So he's going to he's going to switch into Skarmory here. And I'm going to predict the Whirlwind. I am kind of predicting the Whirlwind. I also just know that it would be nice to get a burn on Skarmory. But I also knew that if I was him, I would just Whirlwind stuff forever. But I don't really want to attack him with frickin' Garchomp, because Garchomp can't do anything. I don't have Fire Blast. I've got 4 attacks and Choice Scarf, so luckily he is not going to Whirlwind me again. He is going to get up some Spikes, which is pretty good. Those Spikes are going to come into play pretty soon here, because 1 layer of Spikes and 1 layer of... Well, you can only get 1 layer of Stealth Rock, but, you know, having those 2 together, that does a lot of damage to whatever you're going to switch to, whether they're flying or not. So I'm going to get a Flamethrower off. Unfortunately, I don't get the Burn Hacks. That would have been great, although, you know, that would have been extremely hacksy, because there's only a 10% chance. And in real life here, I was really waiting a long time to think of what to do, because I thought he was either going to Outrage or Earthquake, and he goes for the Stone Edge there, so Mr. Plow is actually a really nice switch-in, because I was really tempted to go into Gengar, but I knew that was way too obvious, and Brighton is, like, really good at battling, so, and, you know, he's going to see that from miles away, and I don't want to lose Gengar because I know that his Landorus is special attacking. I just know it, and Levitating, well, every Gengar is Levitating, but Gengar counters special attacking Landorus like 100%. It's really good, just from my experience on Pokemon Showdown. So some stuff is going to happen here. I am going to take out Skarmory because for some reason he isn't running Leftovers. I think he might be running Rocky Helmet. I don't really know. I didn't ask him about that, but I'm sure he'll comment about it, and we'll find out the truth behind his Skarmory. I don't really know why it's not holding leftovers, but if it did have leftovers, I think it would have survived from my ice hits. But the spikes and stealth rocks, they came into play right there, because I couldn't switch out, because if I did switch back in, Swine would just die. So now that I have a free switch, I'm going to throw out Garchomp and go for that Outrage, and there is absolutely nothing he can do about it. He told me that his team, after a couple turns in this battle, he realized that his team is really, really Gastrodon weak, and Gastrodon is like my favorite OU Pokemon, because it just kind of stops a lot of stuff. But I mean, look at that damage on Landorus. I thought that was a crit at first. That's just Garchomp power, because I am adamant max attack. So yeah, I'm really surprised it did that much. Both of us actually forgot about the Life Orb recoil that he would take for going for HP Ice. That was a really, really obvious move. More obvious to me because I did know a little bit about his team, so I had a little intel, so I wasn't really afraid of, Stone Age or Earthquake or anything. His Outrage, his Garchomp is going to come out, and it is going to Outrage, which is, I don't know. I don't know if that's a bad move or not, because it does lock him in, and he has no way of knowing I have a Focus Sash, although, he could expect it, because Focus Sash Alakazam is a pretty common sight, and I'm going to go for that Hidden Power Ice, which is so, so handy, because every team is running Garchomp now. And this team is just really, really good for dealing with weather, because Gastrodon screws over rain, and Alakazam isn't affected by hail or sand, and it's just really, really good. So his second to last Pokemon is Victini is going to reveal the Choice Scarf by outspeeding 2 scoops the Alakazam and taking him out with a Zen Headbutt. He's really in a predicament there, because had he gone for Brook Break, I could just go into Gengar, but had he gone for V-Crate, I could just go into Heatran, because Heatran is still alive, so he's pretty much forced to go for Zen Headbutt. Surprisingly, we're both surprised that he outsped, he thought it was a Choice Band Victini, but it's actually Choice Scarf, because, Victini doesn't outspeed Alakazam. I was going to lob a Shadow Ball at Victini and just kind of go for that, but the Scarf, it works. I don't get flinched, which is great, and I'm just going to Earthquake the rest of his team, and that was a good game. It was a 3-0. Pretty, I don't know, it was really good. It's really in the moment, like, DS Wi-Fi battles are just, they're just so emotional, because of that communicating, please stand by, and, like, you're waiting. You're just anticipating everything. You're like really paranoid about critical hits and missing attacks and fuck you Earthquake, because I kind of plowed over his team with the Garchomp Earthquake. And DrizzleD5 obviously likes Politoed and obviously likes Drizzle, even though he used a Sand Team there. But definitely check out his channel and drop him a sub, because he's really good. And that's going to be it. RobotnikIsSexy is out of here.